that more than anything, we're building character. We're discipling our kids. And whether they're at school or you're homeschooling, that's your job. Your job as a parent is to disciple your children. And so I think it's not, if you're in a business like we are in network marketing, the goal isn't to create kids that are in network marketing. The goal is to have our kids' hearts and relationship, that they trust us and we have good relationship, and that they have a relationship with God. For us, that's our priority. We want to show them, we want to model for them what it is to walk with Jesus every day and have that personal relationship. So the win is if they are walking in that truth. If they're in a relationship with the Lord, no matter what they're doing, that's my goal.
Yeah, because, the oldest one, so our oldest daughter, Natalia, she is 25, 26.
Well, she'll turn 26.
26? Man, she's so old.
In a couple weeks.
And then Cesar Jr., he's going to be 24, right? Mm-hmm. And he's been married for 1 year. So say our son, Cesar Jr., he got a scholarship to go to a college, and he also played football there. And then in that college, he got a full scholarship for his master's degree at Carnegie Mellon, which is a very prestigious university. And we have seen through his life just the kind of discipline that he has. He's been very dedicated. And even though he didn't follow us in doing exactly what we're doing, like you said, he's thinking out of the box on how to do maybe another business on the side on the same area that he's doing. And it just recently he found out, like, what, you're making that much in that business? Wow, that's really good. So maybe he's not going to do it right now. Maybe he'll do it later, or maybe he'll do something like it. But whatever we do as parents, number one is the example that we set is what they'll end up doing.
Yeah, and we've, our daughter and our son-in-law, Natalia made choices to get her university degree online, doing CLEP tests. She got her credits a lot of different ways, then finished her degree online. Now she just loves to learn. And I think that's what we want in our kids, they have a love for learning. And I love that. I mean, I'm grateful that, she thinks outside of the box. And so now she's looking at getting her master's degree in psychology, because she's working with kids that are in an abusive situation. She's a CASA worker, which is a volunteer worker that gets appointed. The court appoints them to work with kids, find out the situation where they would be the safest, what's the best plan for them, works along with CPS, So her heart, she's just always looking for, I don't know, I think she thinks outside of the box. And so definitely, I think that's success, that they find what they're passionate about and they feel the freedom to pursue that. They don't see, just that they have to do things the way everybody else is doing.
Yeah, and her husband's Zach, same thing. They're building an online business together, and it's exciting. They're thinking they're not going a traditional route. That's what I tell all of our kids. We have 6 kids. The older ones are 20, 16, 13, and almost 12. And our 20-year-old, he has a job and he's doing college online. Unless your teenager has a very specific path that they want to follow, I mean, I don't necessarily think college is the number one way to go, just because it becomes so expensive and is maybe not helping them explore all the possibilities, unless they have a specific path they want to pursue in that college.
Yeah, I know that in our society, it's super normal for the parents to feel the responsibility that we need to pay for our kids' education.
The obligation.
They feel obligated to pay for their university education. And I felt that pressure. My parents paid for me to go to college, and then I left and went to do missions work, but Sace, when we were raising our kids, he would tell me, I don't want to do that, because I want them to own it. And I think we've been talking about how teenagers they're young adults, they're adults, they want to own their lives. And so I think it's been good for our kids. And there's a balance. It's not that we don't support them or ever want to help them financially, but because it wasn't like we're paying for everything, just choose a school. They really have thought through like what is it they really want. And I remember when Cesar Jr. wanted to play football, and all of his friends were going to camps in the summer so they could get recruited. And we looked at it and we said, that's not going to work for our family. And but if that's something that you want to pursue, well, pray. I mean, like pray and work hard and see what opportunities open up. And so, you just, I think we can't just always gift it to them. We think people will make you feel like you should, but if it's a little harder and they have to work a little harder and figure it out, I think it's better for them.
Yeah, the philosopher Confucius said, raise your kids a little bit cold and a little bit hungry. It's something good about them wanting something and having to get creative to get it, right?
And figuring out how much they want it and what they really want, I mean, it's taken our 20-year-old, he's had to own his education, his university, and he's decided to do it online because he didn't have a specific like passion for a certain career, a certain degree. And so he's just like, well, I think it'd be a good thing. I'm gonna finish it. But then he didn't have any motivation, and he's had to work, and it's been a character building time for him. He's finally just like owned it. And he owned it because he was paying for it. And so we were just like hands off, like as far as being on him. But now he actually asked us for some accountability because during this time when he lost his job with the quarantine, he's wanted to get more done, and he has. He's finishing classes every week online, and he's feeling proud of himself, and we're super proud of him.
Yeah. So the 3 points, right? Discipline. Number 2, communication. And number 3, helping them to think out of the box. So somebody asked us on the other Facebook Live in Spanish, what do you do with your kids? How do you teach them to love learning? Because homeschooling is teach them to love learning for life. Reading. What would you say? How do I teach my kid, with a 3-year-old and a 12-year-old, to read?
Well, I think it starts by you having a love for reading, for literature. And I know for me, children's literature has been a love for me. So I've invested in having a library at home, finding really good books. I mean, there's a lot of books that are like junk food, and if you need good lists, there's Sarah Mackenzie with the Read Aloud Revival. She is a great person to follow. I know when I started homeschooling, Sally Clarkson, she's still a great person. Her books, they have book lists, of good authors. And when you find good authors, then you can find a lot of good books by those same authors. And that's where we started, just finding what would really feed their soul. Because, they make friends when they read a book. They identify with somebody's weakness, somebody's strength.
Character.
Yeah, they learn with them. They learn about honesty, integrity, about relating to other people, about being heard, about overcoming. Things that you want them to learn, they're going to learn from good books. And so reading aloud to them every day. I mean, that's my goal with my boys still. My almost 12 and 13, we have a book that we're reading, and it's a book that they love,
So what's the difference between a junk book, like a junk food book, and a healthy book?
Well, the healthy books, a lot of them were written before 1950 when the world, our society valued the biblical principles and, integrity, honesty. There's a lot of books written that, I remember Natalia reading one from the library because someone was recommending it, and she's like,
dumb.
This is so dumb. It was like the boy-girl relationships and the girls gossiping and fighting. And I would say that's fluff. I mean, it's like
How old was she?
Things on TV. She was probably 12, 13. And it was like, there's so many books like that. I'm not saying, my boys now, I let them choose some books at the library that I'm like, okay, like they can read it like that. It doesn't really it doesn't take a lot of thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to have some of that, but you need to have some that go a little deeper. Sometimes there are little books that might be a little harder to get into as they get older. As far as children's literature, I mean, there's just so many good books, and there's so many that are just like, you know. But if you need book lists, you know, let us know. I can send you good people that have great book lists.
So here's now for the 12-year-old. Somebody asks us,
oh yeah,
my 12-year-old.
You got to find out what they're interested in, you know.